Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Okay, I'm Yasha Drapo, and I work here at Redmond Research Lab for Microsoft. My passion is I work on speech recognition, digital signal processing, and I'm showing off a few things here at TechFest today.
So, what are you showing off specifically?
Specifically, what you have here is a system for reducing the noise in a speech signal. What you have is a signal that has some speech in it, digital audio signal with speech, and it has some things that aren't speech in it, and you want to remove the things that aren't speech. And there's lots of different applications for this. In communications, if you have a conference call, you don't want to hear the hotel lobby that they're calling from. If you're creating a podcast, you don't want to have to create a soundproof room to get high quality audio.
So you're creating a podcast tool, so to speak.
I wouldn't say I'm creating a podcast tool. What I'm doing is I'm creating a virtual sound room that you can do what you want with.
So it's specifically for software?
It's a software solution to a problem that normally has a hardware solution.
So how long has this been developed?
That's a tough question. I've been working on speech enhancement for 6 years at Microsoft, and we've had some things that worked well, some things that didn't work well. This here is one of the proudest algorithms that I've had. I'm most proud of this algorithm because it works really well in the cases where traditionally these types of algorithms just fall apart.
All right, so show us an example of how this thing works.
Okay, so what I've done here is I can create a live demo of me talking. Let me do a little recording here. Hi, my name is Yasha. I work for Microsoft Research. And here we have a spectrogram representation of my speech, where time is along the x-axis here, and frequency is here. And where we have more energy, it's more energy in the signal, it's red. And you can see here's my voice here. This is background clutter, what we call babble noise in the background, and same thing over here. And ideally what we want is to reduce the energy here and bring the speech out of the signal. And so I'll send it through my algorithm, and what we have is a result where we have just my speech remaining and eliminated a lot of the background clutter. Now, in a traditional algorithm, this background clutter that's changing quickly over time would be a major headache. You might have heard this if you're talking to somebody who has a cell phone in a restaurant. You hear a beep, 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 beep in the background. That's really annoying. That is the sound of a noise suppression system failing.
All right.
And here we don't have any of that going on.
So when can we expect to see something like this integrated? I realize you can't talk...
In the future.
Well, in the future, yeah, but if you've been working on this various stuff for 6 years, is it going to be another 6 years before we're going to see it?
That's a very good question. One of the things I really love about TechFest is it allows me to connect to the areas of Microsoft that actually get things into the hands of consumers. And in addition to talking to the press, one of the reasons I brought this demo to TechFest was to help me connect with people in Microsoft who can actually use this and get it out the door.
Oh, like Windows Live Messenger or Skype? I realize it's not a Microsoft product, but hey, you got to go with what the masses use.
You can imagine lots of scenarios where enhancing the speech would be incredibly useful, and I'd love to connect with people at Microsoft that can help get this out the door.
Windows Movie Maker. I mean, you got the narration, the timeline, or even photo story to a certain degree.
Windows Movie Maker is a great example of a success story from Microsoft Research. And that was at TechFest a couple of years ago for the first time, and they got it out the door.
Really? I didn't know that. So what's the history behind that?
I don't know.
You don't know? No. You weren't part of that team?
It was on a different continent.
Oh, really? That probably explains how the UI ended up the way it was.
I don't know. Sorry.
May I interject something?
Sure.
Sorry about that. Skype is the same customer in our operating system as MSN Messenger. If you can make Skype happy, being in Windows, this is cool. So if this goes into the operating system audio stack, everybody on top of this, American Online Instant Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Skype, MSN Messenger, they all will be happy. But most importantly, 100 millions of users will be happy.
That's what I was most impressed with Windows Vista, is the support for sound. I've got a built-in audio card in my system, and the software support right out of the box was excellent in terms of configuration.
You know that in Windows Vista we have the opposite technology of this array, which is called microphone array support. So we do the opposite thing. If you have a multiple 2 or 4 microphones, we do actually listen to a given direction, suppressing the sound coming from other directions in a similar manner of what we do this, but in the reverse side. And those technologies are complementary and they can serve in the same scenario actually.
Yes.
So we can actually see a driver like what was being shown off here. Can we actually see that at the operating system level at some point, you think?
Currently what I'm talking is the microphone array support, which means if you have 2 or 4 microphones, Windows Vista will take care of handling the signals from more than one microphone, combining them in a certain way to focus them on you, to listen to your direction and to suppress the sound coming from other directions. This is a microphone array support which is kind of similar to the loudspeaker array we showed here. And after the microphone array support comes a block which is the noise suppressor, which is not so advanced as what Yasha demonstrates here today. But there is a stationary noise suppressor.
Well, this is like, as far as I've seen, as far as practical use of technology on the floor today at TechFest, this is probably, that looks like production to me. I mean, I know you say that the software may be ready, it may not be ready, but I'm telling you that, to me,
Yes.
that looks like actual output.
So what you're seeing here, you really latched onto the 6-year example before, and this was not 6 years of me trying to sell it to the rest of the company. This is 6 years of me working on a really hard problem. And in Microsoft Research, we're trying to figure out what the future is and solve these hard problems. And so you're seeing something near the end of when research touches it.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that it's my job to find the people who want this type of technology?
It's my job.
Wait, no, it's your job to actually make it. You need help getting in touch with people?
I do. I really don't understand the question.
Okay.
Imagine
how are you going to get this in production?
How am I going to get this in production? Getting into the production is a process we call technology transfer. And technology transfer is as much a social thing as anything else. And
you need to meet the right geeks.
For instance, I need to be in touch with the right geeks to get this into the product. And the right geeks need to know it exists. Microsoft has tens of thousands of people working there. Imagine you're in a city of tens of thousands of people. You don't know who they are. How are you going to connect with them? TechFest is a tool for bridging the gap between Microsoft research and Microsoft development.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to rest until I actually see this in some kind of production. I'm telling you, that's amazing. That's
I'd love to have an executable download, but this is really fresh technology. I came up with this solution to the problem about November this past fall.
Hey man,
so
everything's
really
going in beta. It just I'm telling you, I've got to see this thing in real life.
Do you write blog entries before they're edited? You publish them and then do a couple revisions when you correct your spelling?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't publish. I mean, sometimes I'll publish and then realize that, well, the world is an evolving beta. The world is an evolving platform, and if operating systems are going to be upgraded, I mean, you got to imagine software can be patched. I mean, as long as there are not any security flaws, and I don't know what kind of security flaws you necessarily see in something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks.
That's amazing, and especially if you're talking about bringing it into the hands of the average user.
That's my goal.